Good morning, Falcons. It is Monday, March the 23rd, and welcome to a Falcon Day at Summit. It's great to see you all, and this is episode 4 of The Summit Show. We've got a variety of features, but first, this day in history, some good news. 1994, Wayne Gretzky, arguably the best hockey player in the history of the game, broke one of hockey's greatest records, becoming the all-time goals scorer for a player in the NHL. Today, Monday, we're going to have a high about 45 degrees. It's going to be kind of cloudy today, but still opportunities to get outside and fill your lungs with some fresh air and get some exercise. Now let's check in with Miss Miller for some tips on self-care.
Good morning, Summit. Hey, today you guys are going to see a little clip here in a second about what you could be focusing on. You'll see I'm just encouraging you guys to focus in on things you can control versus things you cannot. Hey guys, it's Miss Miller again. Hey, today I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk about how you're being your personal best. In advisory this month, we are going to be talking about being your best and what that can mean, especially now that you guys are at home. So I chose this picture to try to help me put into perspective what maybe you can be focusing on. As you can see in this very colorful photo, I'm trying to illustrate, what you can control versus what you cannot control. Guys, that's super important when you're at home and even when you're back at school, hopefully before too long, in your social life, academically, emotionally, all of these things add up. So I want you to take a minute just to look at this photo, see what speaks to you. Obviously in the what I can control, we can talk about doing your homework, being accountable, studying, all of that I know you guys are doing with your e-learning. But socially, I want you to think about how are you taking care of yourself, right? Are you asking for help? How do you respond to others? I think a lot of times people misinterpret text messages or things that are posted online. I'm sure social media is going crazy right now with everybody being home. So make sure you're controlling what you put out there and how you're taking care of yourself. Make sure we're always being kind. And I know you guys are so good at that. On the outside of the circle, you'll see what I cannot control. Okay, I know, unfortunately, we kind of spend time thinking about this, but it's not always productive. So, what do other people think about me? Past mistakes. If somebody else keeps trying, those kinds of things. Instead of focusing on the things you cannot control, right now a big one is this whole coronavirus. We can't control that, and it's really hard not to fixate on that and just kind of stress ourselves out. So I want you guys to stay focused on what you can control, washing your hands, social distancing, all these things that we've heard a lot about, doing your assignments, staying accountable, definitely keeping yourself healthy. And that can mean, talking to your friends still, participating in those Zoom conversations, talking to your family, but also all those different sources of support that you have. So I know you guys are good about being on your phones and understanding that we need to stay in touch right now. But I guess every day for your personal best, just ask yourself, are you focusing on things you can control? Think about that, guys. If you need anything, let me know.
Well, thank you, Miss Miller. Now let's hear from Summit's Media Center Assistant, Mrs. Kataka, for a book and activity recommendation.
Hi everyone, welcome to day 6 of quarantine. Has anyone else been in their pajamas for literally a week now? Alright, so today I want to talk about a book and an activity that you can do that kind of goes along with the book. So something you can do during this week. Okay, so 6th graders have already heard about this book, but it is the book Same Sun Here by Silas House and Neela Vanzwani. And this book is about 2 kids. One is a girl, one's a boy. The girl has just moved from New York City from India, and then she has a pen pal who lives in Kentucky. So they write letters back and forth to each other and kind of learn that they have a lot more in common than they originally thought. So that's something that is a good book to read if you need something to read this week. And then another thing I was thinking of is a way that we can all stay connected during this time when we have to stay in our houses. And a fun thing to do, and a little bit different, is to send snail mail to each other. So this is mail that goes through the post office, and this is like instead of a text message or an email or something like that. So, and 8th graders have already practiced how to do this at the beginning of the year when they address their envelopes to write their letters to themselves. But I wanted to show you how to address a letter, how to send it, and then some things to put in it. So if you want to send a letter to one of your friends, you're going to get an envelope, and this can be any size envelope. You're going to put their name, their address, and then if they live in an apartment, you'll put the apartment number there too, the city, the state, and this is a 2-letter code, postal code. So Indiana's is IN, and if you're sending letters to anyone else in the country, then you can look up their postal code online. And then down here, you want to put their zip code. For Fort Wayne and the area that Summit is in, it's normally 46804 or something around there. But you want to make sure that you get this correct for the address you're sending it to. An easy way to find the zip code is if you just type the person's address into Google Maps, and then it'll give you the zip code down below. So then, once you're finished addressing your letter, you want to make sure you put a stamp. Where are my stamps? Right here. Okay, so you want to make sure that you put a stamp in the upper right-hand corner. So you just need one stamp to send a normal letter, which is like pieces of paper, and not anything bulky. So if you don't have cards in your house, an easy way to make cards is I just took some index cards and drew some little like designs on them and things like that. So then you can write a letter on the back and put it in your envelope and send it to a friend. It's also fun to include, like if you have like stickers, like if you include like a little sticker sheet or something, because that's flat and can go through the mail machine. So to put that in your envelope and send that as well. And then once you have done those things, you put your stamp on your envelope, you've addressed it, and you've put your letter and maybe some more fun flat stuff inside of it, then you can send it. So the easiest way to do this without having to go anywhere is to go just to your mailbox and to put the letter in your mailbox and put up the flag that attaches to the mailbox. And then that way the post worker will know that there is something in your mailbox that needs to be sent out. It's also a really fun thing to do at this time to put like a little thank you note, or even if you have like a can of soda or a granola bar in the mailbox, and say a big thank you to our postal workers, because they are out there right now making sure we get our Amazon deliveries, making sure we get our normal mail and our magazines. So they're out there working hard for us. So a little thank you in the mailbox too can go a long way. All right, have a great week, Falcons, and I hope that you send some letters.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Kataka. Finally, it's time to visit with Mr. Persley for another edition of...
Welcome back, Falcons, to our second episode of Farm Life. Today we're going to introduce our feeder calves. This is again a 4-H project. I have a couple helpers here that are giving bottles to their calves, and they're going to tell you their calf name. These calves were born probably within the last week or so. They're a Holstein breed, and the calves are typically between 60 and 100 pounds at birth, and we'll raise them till July, the 4-H fair. And they'll probably be between 300 and 400 pounds at that time. They'll still be about a year away from market, but let's go meet our 4-H calves. Starting over here.
We have Petey.
Come on in, get a good shot. This is Petey. Oakley, this calf.
This is Lloyd, and back here is Harry.
So we have Lloyd. Go ahead and give Lloyd his bottle.
And here's Harry.
This is Harry. And who do we have over here, Shakes?
Over here is Sea Bass.
Sea bass. Right here. All right, give them their bottle. All doing a pretty good job eating. They'll eat a couple bottles a day, and we'll offer some pellets as well as they get started here. Hey Falcons, as I'm thinking about it, all their names, there seems to be a theme. Go ahead and canvas message me if you can pick up on the theme for the calf names.
It's always great to connect with Mr. Pursley out on the farm. Now to review Friday's trivia question. Remember, the trivia question on Friday was to name the Summit staff members who've been working in the building since the building opened in 1993. The answer, we've got 5 staff members who've been working in the building since 1993. The answer is Mrs. Yale, Mr. Shout, Mr. Force, Mr. Kennel, and Mrs. Hartman. And the winner of the trivia contest on Friday, drum roll please, 6th grader Cruz Rothenbush. Cruz, congratulations. Trivia contest winner for Friday. Now, today's trivia question, also a Summit related question. Name the Summit staff member who won an individual state championship for the Indiana High School Athletic Association. We've got a staff member who won an individual state championship. And if you want to send me a Canvas message, the first message I get with the correct answer will be the winner, and I will respond to just the winner, just one person. Okay? Hey, tomorrow it will be Tuesday, and on the Summit Show, we'll again touch base with Speedwing. See how Speedwing is continuing to spend his time. We'll have a PBIS message and the dad joke of the day. And then we'll hear from Miss Tackett for another episode of Get Out with Tackett. Ladies and gentlemen, I do challenge you to commit to SOAR in all that you do and everywhere you go. Okay? Be safe, be organized, be accountable, and be respectful. And let's be happy today and make it a great Monday.